Welcome back to the Midnight Who Show, and today I'm going to be reviewing the 13th Doctor's final story, The Power of the Doctor. Now, a lot of the Chris Chibnall era has not been my favorite. It's just not for me. But I gotta say, this story was actually pretty good. I actually enjoyed it, and it did have all the little problems of a Chris Chibnall story. So much happening, jumping around different locations. But he actually had a proper runtime, and I think that actually helped him a lot. And the story also featured the return of Tegan and Ace, which we knew going into the story. And I gotta tell you, I enjoyed how well they were used in the story. It was just amazing just to see these characters back in Doctor Who. Now, this is why this is a spoiler review, because they were not the only classic companions to make an appearance. At the end of the story, there was a companion meetup group talk about their experiences with the Doctor. It did feature some cameos that I just never expected to ever get in Doctor Who again. We got Ian back, played by William Russell. My goodness. Chris Chibnall. I still can't believe it. Just seeing him, because this is probably the only time we're ever going to see him again in Doctor Who. And just to see him again was just fantastic. We got Mel back, got Joe. Wow. Chris Chibnall surprised me a lot in the story. And another big surprise was that we got some classic series Doctors. Whoa. Just when they first appeared, I was like, oh, Chris Chibnall. Oh, man. We have, of course, the first Doctor played by David Bradley, Peter Davison as the 5th Doctor, Colin Baker as the 6th Doctor, Sylvester McCoy as the 7th Doctor, and Paul McGann as the 8th Doctor. Wow. Just seeing them, and honestly, there's a scene between the 7th and 8th Doctor as they're kind of switching back and forth with each other. I enjoyed that scene, and I just laughed that the 8th Doctor still wears his clothes, his normal clothes, not the robes. This also led to one of the best scenes in this entire story, and that was the hologram interface of the Doctor becoming the 5th Doctor and the 7th Doctor, and them talking to Tegan, Ace, in their Doctor's outfits. I still can't believe it. Seriously, The Power of the Doctor, to me, was just a great tribute to the world of Doctor Who, both classic and modern. And I seriously cannot believe it came from Chris Chibnall. I'm still shocked by it. And so let's go to the story really quick. This story involves the Master teaming up with the Cybermen and the Daleks in 1916 and 2022 as he sets forth a huge plan, including forcing the Doctor to regenerate into himself. The other Doctors kind of come into play as they're kind of like the gatekeepers in this regeneration landscape. But wow, Sacha Dhawan as the Doctor, in a way, that was really crazy. And just seeing him in the 13th Doctor's outfit, wow. And seriously, he's actually a really good Master. I really was actually surprised how well he was used in the story. I really enjoyed it. His kind of craziness was, I think, really handled really well. And I just enjoyed when he became kind of that Doctor type, but he's still the Master, and he's going all around with the outfits he chose. That was crazy. But him as Rasputin in 1916, and they played that song, and the Dalek looking at the Cybermen, just like, what did we get involved with? That was so cool. The story also sees the return of Unit, led by Kate Stewart. Always great to see him, and always great to see Unit, and I really like just another building destroyed. Seriously, Unit never can catch a break, and I really enjoyed that line. And that scene at the end with the classic companions and Vinder is also in this story, all kind of helping the Doctor guide the TARDIS to save the day. That was great. And I think Yaz was used really well in the story, and that was a great moment toward the end with the regeneration, the Doctor basically kind of just kicking Yaz out of the TARDIS, honestly, which doesn't always happen with companions. They usually get to leave on their own terms, but the Doctor decided it for Yaz. But I really like them, basically eating ice cream on top of the TARDIS watching Earth. Such a sweet moment. I really enjoyed that. Now, let's talk about the regeneration for a second. I thought that was a great regeneration, and I really liked how calm it felt, It was more peaceful, like the Doctor just accepting what's coming next. And I really enjoyed that they went outside of the TARDIS for a change, and we get that beautiful landscape around his regeneration energy comes all around the place, and it was so peaceful. And I really like the last words is just tag, you're it. Like, just, here you go. your turn. But I think, though, the biggest surprise is that it is David Tennant is the 14th Doctor. I think everyone who knew the set photos were able to tell what was happening right when the kind of suit started to change, which was very different for a generation because we saw the set photos. So it's like, yep, they're doing it. And then there it is. And I love the callback to the teeth. You know, it's like, wait, I know these teeth. And of course, the what? Man, I'm so excited, but we got a 13th month wait before the next episodes of Doctor Who. We have survived before we can do it again. I am so excited, though, to see what happens. But yeah, we get David back for 3 episodes before he hands the TARDIS keys over to Ncuti Gatwa, and I cannot wait to see what that era is going to be like. And before I wrap up this review, I can at least mention that we did get one more appearance by the fugitive Doctor, which is always awesome. I'm glad at least Chibnall kind of brought that back. But I can also say the main problem with this era, not much the story, but he did kind of leave the Timeless Child kind of more open a bit. He didn't really wrap that up too well, I don't think. But this episode to me more felt like a celebration of Doctor Who, and I think Chibnall just kind of ignored what he did almost, it seemed like. It was a very good standalone story. Talk about Dan really quick, because Dan actually leaves at the early parts of the story as he had that near-death experience, which I thought was just really a good decision that he made because he realized he just can't keep risking this. So overall, The Power of the Doctor was a pretty solid 87-minute story. It had the proper amount of runtime. I think Chris Chibnall actually had a good story that he was able to craft, and it just was a kind of this interesting team up between, you know, the Daleks, the Cybermen, and the Master, all kind of joining forces just because this is what the Master wants. To really just destroy Earth, get the planet, get the Doctor's body, and just kind of wreak havoc. And, you know, I think, though, it moves a lot fast at sometimes, and there's some things that, you know, of course could be worked out a bit better, but honestly, though, for a celebration of Doctor Who, it was there, and I think Chris Chibnall actually delivered for once. I really enjoyed seeing the classic Doctors come back, the classic companions, and we got Graham back, which still doesn't quite make sense how he was in the volcano with that, but, you know, we're just going to skip over that for right. But yeah, Chris Chibnall, he actually amazed me. He actually did a decent regeneration story. And there's a lot of fan service in this one, but honestly, that's okay. This was a celebration of 100 years of BBC, but also their biggest production, which is Doctor Who. Doctor Who deserves to have this kind of celebration. And I'm really curious to see what the 60th anniversary is going to be like next year. It's going to be really interesting what Russell T Davies has come up with. And I'm very excited. But yeah, Power of the Doctor was actually really good. I actually enjoyed it. It paid tribute to Doctor Who and the 13th Doctor era, even if there's a few things left of this era that didn't get quite resolved. But you know what? Sometimes you just really want a good episode of Doctor Who, and I'll be honest, it delivered on that. So if you've seen this story, let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.